You see, many people think of the GDP as the measure of welfare. They say that the country is progressing because the GDP is growing rapidly. I believe that is wrong, because you can have the GDP growing rapidly even though many people are actually becoming poorer. GDP can grow rapidly, but most of it may accrue to the very rich. So GDP is not a measure of improvement in welfare. What should be looked at directly is the level of living, let us say the nutrition, access to various goods and so on, of the bottom half of the population. You see, the demonetization was supposed to achieve various objectives, none of which was actually achieved. I say this very seriously because, after all, what was the idea? It was supposed to unearth black money. The entire thinking of the government, it was supposed to cut down terrorist funding. The entire thinking of the government was that if you demonetize, then all the stocks of money which people hold, they would be too ashamed to come out of with those stocks for changing, because then they would be caught. How do you explain having so much money? So the entire assumption was that demonetization would succeed if people actually did not come out with stocks. Okay, but on the other hand, 99% of the total money which had been demonetized came back to the banks. So it was a complete failure. On the other hand, what it did is that it actually put small businesses, petty producers, peasants into great trouble, because many of them simply did not have the cash immediately to buy their inputs, so they had to borrow. So the debt increased, and the increase in debt is very difficult to pay back. And then so they got permanently indebted. See, the strategy of the BJP government is to basically create hatred and division in society, to use coercion exerted by the state itself as well as by various Hindutva groups, to prevent a working class, working people's upsurge, workers and peasants' upsurge against the crony capitalism that it is pursuing and against the neoliberalism's crisis that it is putting people into. But the point is that this can only succeed up to a point, but not beyond. So that, I think the Kisan movement was a very great illustration of how, beyond a certain point, people don't get divided, people don't take all this seriously. The same people who had been divided into Hindu and Muslim in the Muzaffarnagar riots in 2014 and had voted BJP in such overwhelming numbers are people who actually united in order to fight off the government's 3 farm laws. So I don't believe it is going to succeed, and I believe that the people of the country would actually get rid of this neo-fascist government, of the neo-fascist onslaught on their freedom. And once freedom is restored, then people's resistance, fight for a better life, will continue. No, Modi government is not hearing the farmers' cries. It is not hearing the wrestlers' cries. It is not hearing anyone's cries. It is really a government that is promoted exclusively to basically launching the personality cult of Mr. Modi. So that, everywhere you go, his photograph is there, but on the similarly Parliament building, it is he who inaugurates it. So the government has only a single point agenda in this matter, namely to promote Mr. Modi. Now, it is not a government that is seriously interested in solving any problems faced by the country's people.